Okay, so let's compare some of the features that you can really see within the face. And yeah, some of these features of the skull are pretty prominent. So what you can observe over here, let me turn off the shadows, is that the shape of the jaw it really affects. So it's not the same skull that this person would have. If this was the skull of this person, it would probably have been a bit thinner, like this. The forehead would have been less deep. It would have been something like this. So yeah, you can really see. So the features that you can really see, let me paint them on this face, on this skull. The features that you can really see is this area. So you can see it over here. We have the forehead. You can really see the forehead. The second area that you can really see is the side of the cheekbone, especially this side. Okay. And then you can really see it over here. And you're really going to see this in skinny people a lot. The second thing you see, not really, but you do need to know how it looks like, is the jawbone. So this part of the human jawbone, this has, okay, let me choose a different color. Let's choose blue for muscles. This has a lot of muscles over here, the chewing muscles over here. And then it has a lot of fat over here. Okay, this area is mostly fat. This area is fat. Yeah, this area also has some muscles that go like this. But yeah, you don't really need to know every detail about this. I'll show you how to sculpt the face and I'll show you how to sculpt the face and how to sculpt these features. Yeah, don't really worry about them. But yeah, you need to know how the jaw looks like so that you can get a good jaw for your character. Also, another feature that you'll notice is this area. So you can really see this separation over here. It's not very prominent, but you can see it over here. It is present. It's a minor detail, but it really adds into your sculpt. Also, this area, you can really see the brow ridge area. You'll see this. So these are the area which has very little muscle or fat, and you can even touch yourself. You can see this is all hard area. This area, below the eye. You can touch the bone below the eye. Yeah, and this area, you can really touch this area. If you touch yourself around the nose, you can really feel this bone. It's very, very close to the surface. And if you try to touch your jaw, you can't. There's muscle, there's fat, so you get the point. But you can touch your jaw on this area, this over here. Here. So yeah, these are the important things that you need to realize. And I'm telling you all this because when we're going to sculpt, we're going to take care of all these features. I'm going to show you, okay, this is where the bone is. So make the bone over here. And yeah, you can see that this part is really hollow, but we actually have a chewing muscle that goes from here all the way up to here. So this part is covered by a lot of muscle. Let me try to find some realistic examples as well. Yeah, here I loaded up my PureF file. I've made a document like this, PureF file, where I have all my references, and I really recommend that you do this as well. So if you look over here, you can see the muscle that I was talking about. So this muscle, the chewing muscle, it starts from here. It goes through the hole of the cheekbone. I told you that there's a hole between the cheekbone and the jawbone. So that is actually a hole for the muscle, and it goes all the way up to here. You can see that we have some muscles over here, the one that I highlighted over here. This area is muscle. And then we also have a lot of fat. Let me show you the fat. I have a reference for the fat pads as well. So yeah, you can see the area that I highlighted. This area has a lot of fat. This area has a lot of fat. And the fat, it accumulates in a very weird way. It depends person to person. So you might see someone who develops a double chin very easily. And then you might see someone who has really chubby cheeks. So the fat accumulation on every person, it depends person to person. You just need to remember the main things. I'll show you what you can do to make someone look old to make someone look fat. And yeah, and then yeah, we're just going to learn how to make a generic face, and then you can do anything according to your reference. So if your reference has fat accumulation on the cheek, you just make a bit more fat on the cheek. That's really it. Yeah, learning the generic face as a beginner is the best thing. So learn how to make a generic face, and then you can do anything you want with it. Yeah, and a very important fat muscle that I forgot to highlight is right over here. So this fat above the eye is very important. It's very important. This really adds in a lot to your character. It's very easy to make. I'll show you when we proceed with the sculpting. So yeah, that's all for this lesson. I hope you really get these concepts, but you'll understand these concepts much more when we sculpt the actual character. So I'll include this file in the resource files. And what you can do is you can just paint the areas like I did to really memorize the parts of the skull that you can see on this face. Okay, so I was just rewatching the entire course, and I realized that you might not know how to polypaint. And so yeah, here's a crash course on how to do it. So what you need to do is to just go here and then over here click on attribute. And once you enter attribute, when you go into sculpt mode, you just need to go to this brush icon, this paint icon. Okay, just take the paintbrush, and whatever color you choose over here is what it's gonna paint. Also, wherever you're gonna press S, it's gonna color pick. So if I press S over here, you have to hover and then tap S. As soon as you press S, it's gonna pick up that color. Let me turn on the screencast. It just turns off every time. So whenever you press S while you're hovering over a color, it's gonna pick that color. And the way that you wanna paint on this head now is that you have to exit sculpt mode, click on this, and then enter sculpt mode again. But there's a shortcut to avoid this. So just hover over the next model and press Alt Q. And when you're going to press Alt Q, so basically you're switching sculpt mode from object to object. So simply just pick a color, see what feature you can see. For example, I can really see this part of the forehead. This is the skull, and I can really see it over here as well. So just paint that area. It will basically make it easy for you to remember these things, even when you sculpt. So right over here, we have the chewing muscle. Oh wait, let's just mark the cheekbone first. So we can see the cheekbone area. We can also see the cheekbone area in the face, in the sculpt. Then we can see the nasal area. We can also see the nasal area over here. So just do this exercise. It's a very simple exercise. You'll be able to remember these things. And here are some muscles. These are all muscles. Chewing muscles. Here are some more muscles. And also we have fat. We have muscles all over here. So yeah, you don't need to remember this exactly, but just try to mark the parts of the skull that you can see. And that will mainly be the cranium, the forehead, the cheekbone. You can see this. You can see part of this. So yeah, just follow what I did in the lesson. So this was a really short course on how to poly paint. It's pretty simple.